Hello everyone, welcome to this quick video presentation on the how to use Iris. This video describes the Iris interface containing the main functions of menus and tools. This quick video is part of the Tata Memorial Center Unit for Strengthening Cause of Death Data in collaboration with CDC Foundation. The Iris implementation training videos are specific to medical coders who code the death certificates to determine the causes of death. My name is Mrs. Swati Sangle. I am working as the IT consultant with the CDC Foundation supporting data for health initiative activities in India. I support the Iris implementation and maintenance activities in MCGM through the Unit for Strengthening Cause of Death Data based at the Tata Memorial Center, Mumbai. This video gives a short but complete description of Iris menus and tools. Let's start with menu and toolbar at main interface. The upper part of the Iris user interface on screen includes a menu and a toolbar. Most common actions are accessible through buttons placed in the toolbar under the menu line. When a tool or menu item is disabled in Iris, it because the action is not permitted under the present circumstances. Iris menus. Here, learn about the types of Iris menus. When Iris is launched, Iris display by default File menu, Tool menu and About menu. When you open Iris Lot, Mode menu, Lot menu, Coding menu are available. Iris hotkeys. Frequently used items are also accessible through hotkeys or through the toolbar. Available hotkeys are listed in the menus to the right of the menu items. The hotkeys used by Iris are listed on the screen. Iris provides several menus and tools. Now start with File menu. When the File menu is open, it displays the items as shown on screen. Through the File menu, you can open and close lots and exit Iris. You can also launch batch processing and display scanned images of the death certificates. The next slides explain each file item in detail. Open item in File menu. This option used to open a lot. Select the menu item Open or press hotkey Ctrl+O, or you can use Open button on toolbar. An open lot window will appear as shown in the figure. The check boxes in the status and reject blocks allow to select subset of records from a selected workload. This feature is very practical. For instance, initial tick box used to select all not coded records. Rejected tick box used to select rejected records. Final tick box used to select all finalized records only. There is also a possibility to restrict the selection to a specific type of rejects, for which you can use the reject group, which has a different type of rejection options. Another useful feature is the coding mode selection. You can decide to open only the records that have been automatically coded by Iris or manually coded. By default, Iris codes all records in the workload. The not coded in batch checkbox allow to select records except of those already manually coded. It is tedious to press each button separately for all these options. If you click Uncheck all the tick boxes from the status, coding and reject groups will be unchecked. If you click check all the tick boxes will be checked. Cause codes group can be used to select the records according to ICD-10 WHO codes. For instance, the following entries tell IRIS to consider only the records with diabetes as underlying cause. The checkbox "Select underlying cause only" being checked, IRIS would have taken all records mentioning ICD-10 code range. In filter group, the default setting is that all records will be coded. So, if you want to code a subset, you must click either rank or certificate key and add values to the from to fields. The choose or input lot drop list shows all the work lots available in the database specified in the Options Certificate Database tab. Figure shows default certificate database containing work lots. Batch processing item. Also, you can use hotkey Ctrl+1 to start batch processing. Use this command to code an entire workload or a subset of it automatically. When you select the batch processing, IRIS first asks you to open a lot. Slide shows batch processing of F0 lot for all records. By clicking on Start button, batch processing will start. After completed batch processing, system generates log file. Batch processing we'll learn in details in upcoming videos. Open image option in File menu. If your mortality application includes scanned images of the death certificates, you can use this command to display the image. The format can be .bitmap, .jpg, .gif, .tif or .pdf. The name of the image file must be included in the ident file when you prepare the workload field certificate image. Several images can be displayed. Also, you must specify the path to the image folder in Options as shows in picture. Import. The import function is available when no lot is open. Using the import function, you can import records from an XML file generated by the export function. Following are steps to import certificates. First step, click the load button and locate mentioned XML file. The second step is to select the IRIS workload, which can be specified by selecting an existing one or naming a new lot. In third step, click the import button to transfer the records from the XML file to an IRIS workload. In the former case, the records will be added to the already existing records in the lot. In the latter case, a new empty lot will be created and the content uploaded. When the IRIS import finished, IRIS display a log file of the import, which you can print and save. When import is completed, you can open this particular lot and work on it as with other work lots. Tools menu. Tools menu contains functions for browsing or editing the dictionary and the standardization tables. The export death certificate command generates an XML version of the current death certificate. It uses the XML schema irisexchange.xsd provided by IRIS at installation time. To create an XML file with the death certificate information, irisexchange.xml located in the folder defined in the log path of the options. Through the tools, you also have access to the option features which allow you to define the default features of IRIS. Dictionary tool. There are two versions of the dictionary tool available. First is regular dictionary tool. Second is developer dictionary tool. You can use the regular dictionary tool to browse the dictionary table. The regular version, which is available to all users, permits the user to search the dictionary for a diagnosis text and/or code. In the developer's version, which requires that you enter a password, you can also make changes to the dictionary. If you have opened the developer version of the dictionary tool, you also have access to functions for updating and editing the dictionary. The search part is the same for both types of dictionaries and not case sensitive. The maintenance item gives you an access to the dictionary developer tool, the standardization developer tool, and data entry interface. You will be asked to enter password if you click on maintenance. The initial password is pwd iris and it can be changed in the options. You can log out from the developer part when you click again on the maintenance item. Iris displays the developer's version of the tool. This is for future use. Please note, if you lose your own password, the only way to reset the default password is to reinstall Iris. Standardization tools. If you have opened the developer's versions of the dictionary, you also have access to the standardization tool. It allows you to test the standardization filters, to search and to update the standardization tables. The standardization tool window is divided into several main blocks. The language standardization in IRIS is controlled by the 5 tables: Standardization 0, Standardization 1, Separators, Time Intervals, and Standardization 2. Standardization tool we learn in details in upcoming videos. Decision Table Browser. This tool is very useful for experimented coders and teachers. It permits to browse the unicausal decision tables used for the selection of the underlying cause of death. For the decision tables experts, the use of this tool and the results are self-explaining. The search works with wild characters at the anchor code and subcode field. It is also possible to create printable version of the underlying decision tables in PDF format by clicking Printable button and selecting the directory. The system creates two printing ready documents in a human readable structured format as PDF files, and they are named TABA and TABB. TABA includes the causal relationship and TABB the modifications. The mode menu is available only when a lot is open. The figure shows the item with the mode menu. The mode menu defines the entry mode, text or code. It allows to tell Iris whether there are 4 or 5 lines in part 1, maternal and or perinatal additional data. Eventually, this menu specifies the display and the application of standardization 1 related options. You can set the default values of each menu item in Options General tab in Option window. If you wish to, you can change them for the current IRIS session by using the Mode menu. Note, if you change the mode while working on a certificate lot, the change will take effect when you move to the next record. Lot menu. The lot menu contains commands for navigating from one record to another, finding specific records and saving modifications. Through this statistic, you can generate general statistic on the lot. Figure shows format of the lot statistic. Coding menu. Through the coding menu, you can recode the medical part, select the underlying cause or edit the underlying cause, specify the main injury, force a reject, display explanations on the coding, delete all causes of death or restore the original wording if you have modified or deleted a cause of death entry. About menu. After clicking on About Iris item, it displays a window About Iris on which you will find the following information: version of Iris, institution who currently developing Iris, rights of third parties. The information presented in the video comes mainly from the IRIS website that is available on the link presented on the slide. Please consider looking at the website for further information on IRIS, how it is maintained, the countries implementing IRIS, and engage in the core group, and any other questions you may have. Information presented in this video on WHO ICD-10 comes from the WHO ICD website that is available on the link presented on the slide. This website includes information on various ICD versions, including ICD-11. Please consider looking at this website for information on ICD-10, ICD-11, and any questions you might have about the various versions of this mortality classification system. I hope you found this short introduction video on IRIS helpful and hope you consider watching the other IRIS and informational videos we have developed and posted on the YouTube channel for the Unit for Strengthening Cause of Death data. Thank you.